What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Showbiz. Welcome to another episode of Fundamentals. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most talked about topics, which is the caliber debate. If you carry an everyday pistol for concealed carry, what ammo do you use? Are you 9mm? Are you 40? Or are you 45? And why? And I'm going to tell you what I carry and why I carry it, but we're going to go over the history of all these bullets. Fundamentals.com. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showbiz, man. Welcome to another episode of Fundamentals, where we have tons of fun, tons of guns, and a little 101. I probably said that backwards, but you know what I'm talking about. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most discussed topics in the concealed carry or the open carry or the personal defense world, and that's what caliber should you carry? What caliber do you carry? The different types of ammo. Right now, I have 9mm right here. I have 40 cal right here, and I also have God's round, the 45. We're going to talk about all three. And as you notice, I have two of each one. These are two of the bullets that I carry, and I wanted to show them to you. Boom, this one right here is a Winchester Defender. It used to be called the Black Talon many years ago. Look that up, Google it, Black Talon. They used to have a black tip. And they were also known in the street as cop killers. And the whole hype and the media behind the cop killer was like a no-go. So Winchester had to close that chapter, rebrand the bullet as a personal defense bullet. I think that was a PDX or some shit like that. But now if you see the box, it says Winchester Defender. That's what you have here. I have that in all rounds. I have it in 45, I have it in 40. And right here, oops, I don't have it in 40, but this is a SIG bullet, but that doesn't really matter. These are that. Then we have the Hornady Critical Duty. This is what a police officer carries, the Critical Duty. It's available in 9mm, 40, and 45. Matter of fact, I believe Hornady makes that same round in rifle rounds and 22s and everything. But these are the three rounds we're going to discuss, 9mm, 40, and 45. Before we get started, just a quick reminder, subscribe to the page, share, comment, like, and click on that notifications bell so you can get updates every time I do a new video. So let's go. 9mm. Boom. The 9mm is a very, very, very popular round in the streets. Probably the most carried round out there in the streets. Reason being, it's cheap. It's lightweight. Most of the 9mm have large capacity, so you can hold up to 17 shit. This one right here, this is the 365 macro. That's 17 plus 1. That's 18 rounds of 9mm. Now, you can never say you're undergunned when you have that much ammo. Let's talk about me for a second. I started with a 45, and we're going to get to that, but just real quick, I started with a 45. I know it's a big-ass bullet. When this thing opens up, it looks like a little umbrella. It's like enormous. And for some reason, I just sleep better, and I feel better knowing I got that big-ass round. The thing about a 45 is, though, most of those rounds, you can only put so many in your gun. So let's say the Glock 21, which we've talked about this before. This is a 45. This is one of them 45s that actually has a double mag, a double stack. This holds, what is this? Because I got extenders. This is 13 plus 1. So you'll have 14 rounds of 45 in this gun. Most 45s hold like 8, 9 plus 1, it depends, 7 plus 1, or even a 10. They got the little 10 rounders, California shit. This right here is 13 plus 1, which is 14. I normally have an extender on it, which makes it 16. So imagine having 16 rounds of that. Most people won't carry this because of that. I don't have enough bullets. I don't have enough rounds. You know, I'd rather have more bullets than a bigger bullet, all that bullshit. We're going to talk about that. So let's talk about the 9mm and why a lot of people carry it now. And I'm going to be real. This is just my opinion now. Don't you take this to the bank and say, oh, Showbiz on Fundamentals said this or that. But I think a 9mm it's a cheap bullet. It's cheaper to buy, cheaper to shoot. So if you're practicing, you're going to the range, and you want to buy a box or two of 9mm, you know, you're probably paying $17 or whatever it is for a box of 50. When you move up to the 40, that same box might be $25. You know, who knows? I buy so much bullets, I don't even price them out. 45, that'll be a lot more. This might be like a $27 box of ammo. Most people, when they go to the range, they want to shoot a whole bunch. So they want something light, fast, cheap, and they go with 9mm. The police actually carry 9. They carried 40s. They carried 9s. Some departments, depending if they let you carry what you want to, some people fuck with a 45. But let's go. History of the 9mm. The 9mm Luger. It was built by a German dude. I don't know the whole history, but I just wanted to sound smart for a minute. But the 9mm round, in my opinion, unless it's a defense round, I wouldn't really suggest it for personal defense. That's a target round. They're packed, they're loaded a certain way to shoot through paper. Not saying they're not going to kill you and fuck you up, but they're designed to just keep penetrating. It's not a safe thing if somebody comes in your house and you got a 9mm, bang, bang, you shoot them, that bullet goes through them, comes out them, goes in your kid's bedroom or your neighbor's house if you live in an apartment. It's just, the bullet's not made to do personal defense. It's more of a penetrator round. Now, when you do defensive rounds, these are designed to go into a soft target and open up. I'm gonna show you the difference in these, right? Like I said, you have one which is a PDX or a personal defender from Winchester, which is one of my favorite. And then you have the Hornady, which they call a police round. They're both hollow points. As you notice, the Hornady has a red polymer tip in it. If you don't know what polymer, it's not even polymer. It's like that caulking and shit in a caulk gun, that rubbery shit. It's got one of those in there. I'm gonna tell you why, and this one doesn't. The critical duty, as it's called, is made to be shot out of a full-size service weapon. Remember this. Bullets do what they do because of the speed they travel. Or if they're slow, they do certain shit. If they're fast, they do certain shit. You have to know all this. A 9mm mirror is very fast. In order for a bullet to be effective and do what it does, it has to travel at certain speeds. For example, for this bullet to open up, it's got to be traveling at a certain speed. If you got some little bullshit rinky-dink gun, the barrel's really short, and you're shooting a service round out of that, it might not perform as promoted. You know what I mean? It might just go through there, and it'll still look like this when they find it. You know what I mean? It has to hit fast and hard. Real quick, I just gotta, excuse me, I know I'm over here sniffling. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I promised you guys I was gonna keep on giving you some content. So even though it's raining outside like a bitch, and I feel like hell, and my nose keeps running, I still want to give you this content about this ammo. Because even on a day that you don't feel good, you might have to rock someone's snot box, as my man Hassan says. Because I ain't going, I'm right now, I don't feel good, man. I'm tired. I don't feel like boxing or wrestling with nobody. So you roll up on me right now, you might get hit with one of these motherfuckers. So, hey, but anyway, I'm back. I'm just fucking with y'all. We're here, like I said, excuse the sniffling, man. I'm a little under the weather, but it ain't gonna stop the show. The show must go on. As we were talking about the 9mm, the 40, and the 45, let's talk about the devastation of the 9mm. 9mm travels very fast. There's a lot of videos on YouTube you can go watch right now of ballistic gel, where they're shooting these bullets into ballistic gel, and you see how far they go and how they tumble and what they do. I ain't gonna do that shit. We're gonna shoot real stuff. We're gonna shoot at cars and stuff like that. If you want to see ballistic results on any of these bullets, feel free to go to YouTube, or you're on YouTube now or whatever, and go look up those bullets, ballistic gel. I'm not doing it, man. That gel cost a whole bunch of bread for me just to shoot a couple rounds in it and melt it in the oven and do all the scientific shit. I'm not doing it. So let's talk about these 9s. The police round. The Hornady, critical duty. There's a critical defense and there's a critical duty. Remember this, guys. Critical defense, critical duty. Now, I'm going to say something right now. I'm sure somebody's going to go in the comments or somebody's going to be like, this guy don't know what he's talking about. Well, fuck you. A critical duty is made to be shot out of a duty-sized weapon. That's from Hornady. Like if you got a full-size Glock 17, some type of full-size gun, that's the best performance for this. Just like an AR. Not to get off topic, but an AR. When you're shooting a short baby AR, them bullets ain't gonna do what they're supposed to do because they're normally supposed to travel out of a 16-inch barrel or longer. They're rifle rounds. The moment you put them in a smaller gun, the performance suffers a little bit. We'll talk about that one day, but right now, back to the 9mm. The critical defense, personal defense. Most people, when they carry personal defense, they carry a small 3-inch little baby carry gun. Just to show y'all, like always, this is unloaded. There's nothing in here for all you YouTube sheriffs. I got the mag in them because they look cool, like I said before. But most people carry a small, personal, little 9mm, and then they get the wrong ammo. They got a bullet that needs a longer barrel to actually do what it does, and then it doesn't do what it does. So critical duty is for them small 3-inch little baby pocket rockets. And if you have a full-size gun, I personally rock with the critical duty. I might have fucked that up. Defense is for small, duty's for big. Think big. This, as I said before, this is made by Winchester. And we're going to talk about the grain weights. Let's go back to the grains. I know I'm all over the place, but like I said, I don't feel too well today. I'm just doing this for the fun of it, man. Fundamentals is the new channel. I'm still like getting my shit together. I know a lot about guns, and I have a whole lot of guns, and you're going to see that on these shows. But today we're just talking shit. I mean, we're talking some, like I said, fun, 101, whatever. This is the 101 part. I'm not having no fun, though. All right. The critical duty. This bullet literally is designed with, it has a bonded jacket. That means the bullet is lead. The copper jacket that's on top of it, which is like the copper jacket, this is bonded, meaning like some type of scientific molecule type weird shit they do. I'm not gonna say glue, but we'll say glue for the layman's terms. This is connected to that round. So when it hits, it won't separate. A lot of times you get a hollow tip bullet, and when it hits its target, it comes out of the jacket. So the little lead piece breaks up into little pieces, and they just find a copper scrap inside of the body or the side of the target because the bullet's separated. This bullet is not designed to separate. It's designed to stay together, to actually open up like a beautiful flower. But the reason police choose this bullet right here is because it'll go through glass, it'll go through wood, it'll go through hard surfaces before it does what it has to do. So if you think you're getting away in your car and you hide it behind some shit, it is a hollow point, but it's designed to penetrate before it opens. And so it has some type of steel shit in there, some steel core or something. I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to get all into it. I'm just trying to give you like general information. The Winchester Defender, previously known as the Black Talon. Beautiful round. I love this bullet. I probably carry this in all my pistols. Probably like 90% of the time I got this round. I just love this round a whole lot. And I know I said that twice, but it's twice as nice. And it's pricey, but it's a good bullet. I think a box of these for 20 of them is about $36 right now. I was just at the gun store. Shout out to Autry's in Fayetteville. I was just at Autry's, and I was having a long discussion with a couple guys over there about different ammos. It was interesting. We're actually going to go there and shoot. But the Black Talon, I still call it a Black Talon, although it's not black. Another infamous round. I actually spoke to a SWAT officer a few days ago, and he told me that this is a bad motherfucker, and I guess he's used them in real life. But that's 9mm. See, a lot of people say, oh, well, a 9's going to do the job, because, you know, just a quick history. The police, they used to carry 9mm back in the day, like in the 80s and all that, 70s and 80s. But they were standard, hard, jacketed, hard ball ammo like you shoot at the range. 115 grain. And real quick, let's talk about the weight. Every bullet has a different grain weight. The typical target round is 115 grains. That's the weight of the bullet. The bullet, once again, everybody, the bullet is this piece in the top. This is the shell or the cartridge. This is the actual bullet. So when your gun shoots, this part is what you see flying in the air, and this is the part that actually goes forward and hits the target. So the actual bullet itself, the head, there are different weights, different grain. A lot of people out there, if you deal with any type of scale and you put it on to measure ounces and grains and weight, that's what it is. The heavier the bullet, the slower it's going to go. So let's say a target round is 115 grains. That's a very light, fast, skip to my loo, in and out bullet. Then you have a critical duty like this. The police's premier weight that they like is 124 plus P. I'm explaining plus P means plus pressure. That means this bullet is packed under a lot of pressure. That means when it performs, it's coming out like a screaming demon. They call it a plus P round. Only way you're going to ever see me carrying a 9mm for personal defense is if I have plus P rounds in there. A 124 law enforcement round. Anything less than that, I'm at the target, fucking around, plinging, bing, 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 just shooting shit. But for personal defense, I would carry a 124 plus P. Back to the Defender. This is the 147. This is subsonic. So if you were shooting a suppressor, this travels a little bit slower and it's better. See, when you have a supersonic round, such as something like this, you're traveling over the speed of sound and light. It's supersonic. Out of here. You can't hide that crack. Bow. Long time ago, you could look this up on YouTube or in history. There was a big shootout between the FBI and some bank robbers. It was 2 bank robbers down in Florida. And they just robbed the bank, and I think one of them had a Mini 14, which is like an AR style rifle. Other one might have had a shotgun or an AK. They had some serious firepower. The police back then had a 38 special revolver. A few had 9mm. Those 2 robbers, although they did get killed at the end, they took down like 6 cops. They probably took down more than that. They killed a bunch of motherfuckers, man. Because the police, the 9mm wasn't effective. They were shooting these 9s, and the 9s were hitting them and going in, but they weren't going deep enough. They'd be an inch away from a vital round. Like I said, a bullet depth. How deep is it going in? What's it hitting? What's it doing damage to? The 115 was way too light. And like I said, they were hitting the targets. They was hitting these guys with the 38s and the 115s. It wasn't doing the trick. A bunch of people died. Long story short, the last cop who saved the day, he ended up getting killed too. And I think he got him with a shotgun. But like I said, look it up. It's called the Florida Bank Robbery Shootout. That's why they even came out with the 40. So what happened after that incident? The police get back. Oh my God, that shit didn't even work, man. What the fuck's going on? We need a better bullet. At the time, they came out with a 10mm round, which they had a 9mm. A 10mm was a little bit taller and a little bit fatter. The problem with the 10mm was it was too hefty for the pistols they had. So it was a really kick-ass round, crazy recoil. No offense, law enforcement, but a lot of law enforcement can't shoot for shit. They practice twice a year. Unless they're the guys I know that go in there all the time. But most cops, they certify, they get their little certification, and they don't shoot nothing. So they couldn't handle the 40. They couldn't handle the 10mm. So they said, we need to fit that 10mm in the same gun that holds a 9. Boom, they trimmed it down, made it the same height as a 9mm. Voila, there you have it, the 40 cal. As you notice, it's a lot fatter, a little bit different dynamic to it. The 40 cal was doing the job. That shit was smacking motherfuckers left and right, knocking them out the box. That's when the police all started carrying 40s. As the world, progressed and, time happened, bullet companies, manufacturers came out with new technology. They came out with different ways to manufacture these bullets. Everything from the thickness of the shell, to the weight of the round, to the type of powder, the type of charge, the type of projectile. And they were able to come up with a 9mm round that was hitting just as hard as the 40. Now, the reason they switched over was, number one, it was cheaper. Remember, when the police buy bullets, they buy millions of rounds. The FBI buys millions of rounds. So they were saving millions of dollars by buying a cheaper bullet, which was the 9. Ballistic test. They take a gel block. It's like a piece of gel, like 15 inches, maybe 17 inches, and they put denim in front of it, like a jean jacket. They put denim in front of it. They might put some wood. They put a few things in front of it, and they shoot through it, and they judge what kind of damage a bullet does. The 9mm, for some reason, was beating the 40 out every time. So they went back to 40s. And the officers could shoot them better. When they were qualifying, it was a lot more easier to get back on target. Like I said, the police still can't shoot. And I'm going to tell you why. A real deal operator, somebody who shoots like an operator. When I say operator, most of y'all are watching this show know what I mean when I say operator. That's like them tactical, them guys. Those motherfuckers are trained to shoot 2 in the chest, 1 in the head, 3 times. The police are trained to empty that clip. And they end up hitting the guy twice. They shot 17 rounds, hit him 2 times. So they needed a 9mm because the police need more ammo. It needs to be lighter to carry. When you're carrying your 9, you have extra mags. You got a lot more bullets. It's lighter. You can run around, do what you got to do. So they came out with the 9, hits a lot harder. They started straying away from the 45 and the 40 and whatnot. They're all on 9s now. But what I tell everybody, and I'm sure you've heard this a million times, the same technology they did to the 9, they did to the 40. They did to the 45. And here they go. These are all the same bullets, 9mm, 40, and 45. All the same. Hornady critical duty. Boom. So you mean to tell me whatever technology they did to this, they didn't do to this? And they didn't do to this? Come on now. So you're in there. All these bullets, different sizes, but I think the technology was transferred to all of them. Why would they just do the 9 and not the rest? So here we go. The 9mm and the 40. Most of the times the weapons are identical. Like a Glock 23 and a Glock 19 are fucking twin brothers. One's a 40, one's a 9. Of course, the bigger the bullet, the less rounds. Like I said, a typical 9mm is holding 15 to 17. A typical 40 is holding 13 to 15. Yeah, something like that. Like I said, excuse me, man, I don't feel too good today. I have tons of guns, lots of fun, and a lot of one-on-one. But I have extended mags. I have 2+. I forget the round count. I just know what I'm carrying's got enough to do the job. Believe it or not, recently, I started carrying my 9 a little bit more. Matter of fact, this is what I'm carrying today. This is the 19X. This is the Glock 19X, chambered in 9mm. And look, whoa, voila, what do we have in there? A Winchester Defender / PDX, AKA Black Talon. This actually holds 17 + 1. So this right here has 18 rounds in it. And when I put a 2+ on the end, I got 20 rounds. So I'm running around with 20 rounds of 9mm. If I want to put a suppressor or whatever, we'll talk about the details of this gun later, but this is what I'm carrying right now. And then my backup, another 9mm. So these motherfuckers got me carrying a 9mm these days. I've been carrying a 9 the last couple of days just because I want a whole bunch of rounds. But after I did I was talking about this Glock 21 the other day with you guys. I love this gun, man. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna carry this bitch tonight. You look at the hole in that thing. Look at the hole. Look at the front. Look at the hole. You see the difference? I don't mean to be pointing guns at you guys. You know they're not loaded. You just saw me unload them. But you see the difference? I just think it's a lot more scary if you had to look down this motherfucker. I don't want to get hit by none of them, but anyway. 9mm, typical speed. And I'm not a chronograph. I'm just going to tell you what I see on YouTube and what I've done a few times, but I'm not going to do it right now. Typical speed of a 9mm will be anywhere between 1,000 to 1,200 feet per second on a 124+ P defense round. Boom, let's move over to the 40. The 40 is going to be anywhere between 950 and let's say 1,100. And I'm probably wrong. If I am, get in the comments and talk your shit, and I'll come back with it. And then the 45 is what you call a subsonic round, which is traveling about 850 to 950 feet per second. Think golf ball, baseball, softball. A golf ball, if you hit that shit with a golf club, that bitch is going to be out of here fast as shit, all as far as the golf course is. A baseball, if you hit that with a baseball bat, you can knock that bitch out the field too. It's just a little bit bigger, a little heavier than a golf ball. A softball, although they throw it underhand and it comes a little bit slower, if that bitch hits you, it's going to hurt because it's the mass, you know what I mean? So, and it's going to put a bigger hole in you. And I think I said this before in one of my shorts. You don't die because what the bullet hits you, unless it hits you like in the heart or the brain or somewhere, your spine or right here or somewhere crazy. You really die because you bleed to death. You bleed out. So people get shot and they leaking. You never hear them say, oh my God, he was leaking. They're laying there just pouring out blood. That's why they die. So with a 9mm, in my opinion, you got to hit them a few more times. That's why it's like pop, 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 pop. They fucking that 9 up because they trying to pop holes in you. A 40, same scenario, a little bit more punch. So what takes you 5 bullets of 9mm might take you 3. 45, same thing. Example, let's talk layman terms. All right, here goes the conversation. Oh my God. Oh, Joey got shot yesterday. Is he all right? Yeah, he's good. He's all right. He's going to be all right. 9mm. Yo, they done shot my man Joe at the club last night. Boy, that nigga gonna be paralyzed for the rest of his life. Boy, he got fucked up. 40. Oh, they done killed my man, don't he? He's dead. 45. If that explains it, I'm talking shit. The 9 is going to do the job if you need to. The 40 is definitely going to do the job, and the 45 is our winner. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think is our hardest hitting, best round to carry, what you carry, what you prefer. Shit, tell me some stories, man, about actual performance. I actually have a few people coming on the show. I have a street cop who's been in a lot of shootouts. He's going to come in here and talk about what he uses and the effectiveness, and even tell you some stories. And I also have a combat engineer operator who's going to come on as well. And we're going to talk about what round they carry at war. And believe it or not, this is going to fuck you up. Believe it or not, overseas, in Iraq and any war zone, the soldiers are carrying a 9mm round. And they're not carrying a hollow point, because a hollow point is illegal in war. Think about how stupid that sounds. A hollow point is illegal in war because of the devastation it does. Isn't it war? Ain't you supposed to be fucking each other up? Anyway, they carry ball ammo. It's a little heavier. It's not the standard 115 that they shoot at the range. I believe it's a 147. It's a heavier bullet. It's gonna kick some ass when it comes. But hey, the U.S. military can't be wrong. They're carrying 9mm. They're actually carrying a SIG P320. It was made, actually the Glock 19X competed with it when they went to military trials to figure out what they were going to carry, and the SIG won. Fast forward, the SIG is the one that's also shooting on its own. But they fixed that. Salute to SIG, man. I just bought this SIG, badass gun. All right, folks, 9mm, 40, 45. You let me know in the comments what you think is better. Like I said, excuse my sniffling and coughing and just deranged person I am today, but I do feel under the weather. It's raining outside. I can't wait to get home and go to bed. I'm at the studio. If I'm at the showroom, this is where Fundamentals was filmed at. Look us up if you need to do something like this. This is where we at. Best bullets in the world, man. 9, 40, or 45. You be the judge. Let me know, and we're going to do another episode about this where we go to the gun range and we actually shoot something, and we shoot these bullets, and we judge the kick. We judge the performance of these rounds. Tonight, I will be carrying all of these guns. So fuck with me if you want to, because I'm going to have my 9 with me. I'm going to have my backup with me. I'm going to have an AR with me. I'm going to have a golden baby gun for you little bitch niggas. No, fuck this is all B-roll. And I'm going to have my 45, man. But like I said, man, thank you for tuning in to Fundamentals. This is one of my newest videos, one of my first videos. This is a brand new channel. I hope you enjoyed it. If I'm corny, if I'm whack, please say so I can tell you to fuck off. If you like what you like, subscribe, like, get notified. Tell your friends to tell a friend, because Fundamentals is going all the way to the top. I guarantee you we're going to do some big shit, big boy fun. Stay tuned, man. Fundamentals.com